Jaya Radha Madhava Kunda Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunda Bihari Gopijanda Balaba Girivanadari Gopijanda Balaba Jasura Nandana Vajjana Ranjana Jasura Nandana Vajjana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanatari Jamuna Tira Vanatari Jamuna Tira Vanatari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunda Bihari Gopijana Balaba Jivanadari Gopijana Balaba Jasura Nandana Vajjana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanatari Jamuna Tira Vanatari Jaya Madhava Kunda Bihari Radha Gopijana Balaba Jivanadari Gopijana Balaba Jasura Nandana Vajjana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanatari Jamuna Tira Jaya Radha Madhava Kunda Bihari 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 Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Pariva Jagacharya Siddha Shisham His Divine Grace Abhaichara and Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki ISKCON DVD Founder Acharya Guru Srila Prabhupada Ki Ananta Karavashtra Brinda Ki Nam Chai Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Prem Shri Ho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva Sri Gaur Bhakta Brinda Ki Say Sri Radha Krishna Gopinath Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Vrindavan Dham Ki Mathura Dham Ki Dwarka Dham Ki Navadip Dham Ki Jagannathpur Dham Ki Chamuna Mai Ki Ganga Mai Ki Tulsi Maharani Ki Bhakti Devi Ki Samveda Bhakta Vindiki. All glories to the sum of devotees. All glories to the sum of devotees. All glories to the sum of devotees. All glories to the divine lotus feet to Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishnastaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Samanita Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharani Nirvasesha Sunnavari Paskacha Desatarani Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Tapta Kanchana Gaurange Radhe Vrindavanishvare Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Devi Dukakula Sagorore Duyamanati Durgatam Janam Tam Kripa Prabala Nokoyara Bhutam Prapaya Swapara Pankajalayam. So we're going to continue our attempts to glorify Srimati Radharani. And the goal is to pick up where we left off on the descriptions of the marks of her lotus feet. The goal is, because we pray to Srimati Radharani, we say, oh, lotus feet, we say, oh, give me your shelter. And it would help to know, how does that manifest? What are its features? What are the aspects? What is the dimension? What is the, rather than just blindly saying something, and I mean not blindly, it's full of sentiment and affection and sincere motivation, but it becomes enriched by knowledge. So that's our intent here. Before we go into the 19 marks, 18 remaining, as promised, and as we should, we're going to speak from the, this is from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, chapter 23, text 92. It's also found originally in the Ujjvala Nilamani by Rupa Goswami. These are the descriptions of Srimati Radharani's transcendental qualities. She has 25, Krishna has 64. You would think that 64, it's almost what? Easily twice, almost 3 times, 2.5 times more, right? But lo and behold, what do we find? What does Radharani do with her 25 qualities compared to Krishna's 64? Completely conquers him. So here we go. These are the 25 listed by Rupa Goswami. She's very sweet. She's always freshly youthful. Her eyes are restless. She smiles brightly. She has beautiful, auspicious lines. She makes Krishna happy with her bodily aroma. She's very expert in singing. Her speech is charming. She is very expert in joking and speaking pleasantly. She is very humble and meek. She is always full of mercy. She is cunning. She is expert in executing her duties. She is shy. She is always respectful. She is always calm. She is always grave. She is expert in enjoying life. She is situated on the topmost level of ecstatic love. She is the reservoir of loving affairs in Gokula. She is the most famous of submissive devotees. She is very affectionate to elderly people and to superiors. She is very submissive to the love of her friends. She is the chief gopi, and she always keeps Krishna under her control. In short, she possesses unlimited transcendental qualities, just as Lord Krishna does. Jai. So, picking up where we left off. Oh, I wanted to say a little something. Because what we're reading from is by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. And, the tendency, what they say, if something's too good? Well, what is that saying, Jamal? If something's too good, if we think that something's too good to be true, that's what I'm looking for. If something looks too good to be true, what does it usually mean, Jamal? That it is. So when we read about the mercy of Srimati Radharani, is there actually such a personality, and that there's a kingdom of God, and I'm not meant to be stuck in this dark, dank, dismal, despairing world? It's too good to be true. What do they say? It's the opiate of the people. You've just created a pipe dream to help you because you're not strong enough of character to deal with the reality of life. And therefore you've created an escape hatch in a fantasy world. You ever hear that? Yeah. It's a major theme. You know? Oh, well, if it gets you through the night, okay, but it's not true, but, you know, okay. Helps you deal with grief and loss. Okay, fine. If God didn't exist, we'd have to create him. So people would feel that there's a big guy in the sky watching out for him and that things are not happening by random chance. Okay, so, but then we have to consider the caliber of the people who say that. Completely bewildered, full of material desires, on their 5th marriage, or whatever they are, and certainly afraid at the time of death. And are they compassionate to all living entities? Okay. Well, what are they doing for the cows? Even they're members of Doctors Without Borders or whatever, which is all well and good. But what about all the prajas? I mean, what is the extent of their actual compassion? Pandita Samadarshana. Saintly person won't even hurt an ant. We have Magrari was a hunter, leaving animals half killed. So what are the caliber? We have to look. If you follow someone, you will wind up like them. It's quite reasonable. So what are the caliber of the people? What is their life? What is their level of happiness? What is their level of compassionate? What is the good they're actually doing in the world? And what happens to them at time of death? So, and who are the people who are presenting this so-called fantasy world? What is their caliber? So we discuss this a little bit tomorrow. I don't want to spend too much time on it. But I'm going to read, this is the meditation on Radharani, the marks on Radharani's lotus feet. This is by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Now he was born in 1630, was it 68 or 62? We'll read in a minute. But let's see here. 1638. Is that so long ago? I mean, the Taj Mahal was there. Everyone, you know of the Taj Mahal. We accept Taj Mahal was built by Shah Jahan as a glorification of his wife, you know. Spent so much money that he was locked up by his son Aurangzeb in the Red Fort. Didn't he? You know, he could stare out and see the Taj Mahal, but he was locked up under house arrest. Anyway, but the history is there. Shah Jahan built. I mean, it's not. You know, there it is. Do we have any Christopher Columbus doubters? 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue. Anybody doubt that? He was, 1492? Columbus sailed the ocean blue? So that's 150 years earlier. So we go back 150 years, nobody doubts Christopher Columbus, Michelangelo, so many people. The history is there. So here, it's not that long ago, 1632, Taj Mahal, Shah Jahan, so many other things are going on. As a sidelight, do you know that I saw, because anyway, it's a long story, but the Mughal Empire at its apex, Akbar to Aurangzeb, was 25% of the gross national product of the world. 25% of all goods and services produced were done in the Mughal Empire. Do a Google. It's there in Wikipedia. It's confirmed in several different places. Blew my mind. I couldn't believe it. 25%. No wonder Christopher Columbus. He wasn't trying to get to, place full of red Indians and buffalo. He was trying to get to India. But anyway, these are the descriptions of the spiritual world, and Krishna and Srimati Radharani are not fantasy. They're not wishful thinking. They are the realizations and confirmations of the greatest minds who have ever been on the planet, historical figures. Okay, so Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, it's just short, a couple, whatever it is. Appearing in 1638, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Hari Ballabha Das, came in the disciplic succession from Narottam Das Thakur. Vishwanath took Diksha from Sri Radharaman Chakravarti. Although married, Vishwanath was indifferent and soon renounced family life. He came to Vrindavan Dham and did Krishna bhajan at Radhakund. He was known as, quote, the crest jewel of the Vaishnavas because of his pure devotion, scholarship, and realized perception of Radha Gokulananda's intimate conjugal pastimes. Gaudiya authorities say that Srila Rupa Goswami was Vag Devavatara, the incarnation of the god of speech. And Gaudiya Acharyas, especially amongst his direct disciples, believe that Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur is an incarnation of Srila Rupa Goswami. Among all Gaudiya Vaishnava Acharyas, only Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur comes close to matching Srila Rupa Goswami's profound realization on the absolute truth. Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur, I have a question about that. I would say there are several others in that same league. But that's another story. I certainly would include Prabhupada in that league. What is the sign of an expert teacher? Sariputta had a double PhD, one in statistics and the other in theoretical physics. The man was, a profound genius. But he could explain, and there's those Origins magazine lectures, because people say, oh, Prabhupada was just teaching ABCs, But Sariputta, on the highest level of scientific understanding, could explain those principles. If you listen to those Origins magazines, so that the common man on the street could understand. The sign of someone who deeply understands a subject is that they can express its truths to the common person, in like E equals MC squared. It's profound. It's a secret of the universe, but it's a simple equation. So in the same way, Prabhupada, and if you read Teachings of Lord Chaitanya, read the Krishna book, read the Chaitanya Charitamrita, the most intimate understandings of Madhurya Ras, conjugal love, are explained in such a way that the neophyte does not commit offense, does not become a sahajya, but actually gets it and surrenders. That is a profound accomplishment, and it comes from the deepest realizations. So don't, well, it's not in ISKCON, I got to go to Radhakund, forget it. Okay. Vishwanath means he who reveals the jewel of devotion to Vishwanatha, Sri Krishna, the Lord of the universe. Chakravarti means, quote, he who expands the chakra circle of bhakti, end quote. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, quote, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur was the protector, guardian, and acharya during the middle period, 16 to 1700s, of the historical development of Gaudiya Vaishnava, end quote. Vaishnavism, end quote. The growth of the Gaudiya Vaishnavism began with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It was later rejuvenated by Srila Thakur Bhakti Vinod, sped by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and broadcast all over the world by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of ISKCON. Just 3 paragraphs left. During his stay in Vrindavan, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur worshipped the deities of Radha Gokulananda and Sri Giriraj. His Govardhan Shila was first worshipped by Lord Chaitanya, then Raghunath Das Goswami, Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami, Sri Mukunda, and it's got a lineage here, and ultimately coming down to Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Today, this Giriraj Govardhan deity resides in the Radha Gokulananda temple in Vrindavan. In a dream, Lord Sri Krishna ordered Vishwanath to make commentaries on the Goswami's books. Immediately he started writing prolifically. Clouds would shield him from the sun when he sat to write. Once a torrential downpour flooded the area where Vishwanath was writing his Bhagavad commentaries. Miraculously, not one drop touched Vishwanath or his Bhagavad manuscript. All the ink would have run. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur wrote over 40 Sanskrit books on the science of pure devotional service. He also made the sweetest, most highly realized Rasik Tikas commentaries on Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, and the works of Rupa Goswami, Kavi Kanapur, and Narottam Das Thakur. And he gives a list of all of his books. or many of his primary books. The life and teachings of Srila Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur give happiness, inspiration, and transcendental wisdom to the entire Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. We sincerely pray that after thousands of births, we will someday qualify to become a particle of the dust under the shade of his lotus feet. In Krishna Lila, he served Srimati Radhika as Vinod Manjari. His samadhi is in the Radha Gokulananda temple courtyard. All glories to Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. So now that personality is whose commentary we're reading. And we are talking about Krishna's, Srimati Radharani's left foot. And then we'll go to her right foot. And, did I remember to rejuvenate? How could I not? Let's see what's up here. I thought that I brought those feet again. And we're supposed to meditate on the lotus feet. Here you go. You can... Yes. Hold on. Here's another one. Just... Oh, okay. Here, we got two. There's more men than women. It's not a gender preference. It's a numerical fact. So one of the markings is a flag. What is the meaning of the flag on Srimati Radharani's lotus feet? The flag announces security and protection from fear, just like Jayapataka Maharaj, the victory flag. In a battlefield, there's the flag. It shows you the way to go forward. What is the Star-Spangled Banner? And the flag was still waving. Whatever. But it gives some inspiration. So there's a flag on Srimati Radharani's lotus feet, and what's it meant to inspire? The flag announces security and protection from fear for the devotees meditating on her lotus feet. The flag on Radha's feet proclaims supreme victory for her Sakhis. Victory over birth, death, disease, old age, and victory over Krishna. There's a fish. As a fish cannot exist without water, the devotees cannot live for a moment without the shelter of the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani. On Radha's foot, it indicates that she cannot live for a moment without her beloved Shyam. Also, the fickle mind resembles a fish. A fish is always going this way and that, so the mind is always going this way and that. So one must diligently practice meditation to fix the lotus feet. Fickle mind, this way and that like a fish. Fix it on the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani in one's heart. The lotus feet of Radha Govinda can never live in a dry place. The heart must become first liquefied with loving mellows to attract the fish of her feet. You want to attract, where does a fish live? You want Radharani's lotus feet in your heart. Can your heart be steel framed? Can it be like stone? Well, it has to become, this is described in the Nectar of Devotion, Rupa Goswami. There's different kinds of hearts. Some hearts are just like stone, steel framed. Some hearts are like butter. You put it next to fire, it'll melt. But the heart of an advanced devotee is always like liquid. It's always flowing like nectar. So in that nice nectarine heart, whoosh, comes the fish of Radharani's lotus feet. Nice, huh? Lotus. The nectar-filled lotus creates greed for the prema, the greed for prema in the minds of the bee-like devotees who meditate on the lotus feet of Radharani. Bee likes to go into the lotus for the nice nectar. So the devotees, there it is. The lotus indicates that devotees who remember Radharani's lotus feet will always be fortunate and successful. The lotus is one of the symbols of the goddess of fortune, Lakshmi. Radharani's lotus feet will always be fortunate and successful. The lotus on the foot of Srimati Radharani refers to the period of her prideful anger, when Krishna's lotus hand, massaged her lotus feet. It also refers to the small blue lotus flower that Radhika always carries in her hand. Radha often uses it to gently tap Shyam when he misbehaves. So those are things we can meditate on, Although that's maybe a bit beyond our pay grade. Gode. The goad denotes that meditation on Radharani's lotus feet. That meditation on Radharani's lotus feet brings the elephant of the devotee's mind under control and keeps them on the right path. I mean, the mind, you know, when it wants to go in a direction, like what is that joke? Where does do you know the joke, where does the 2-ton gorilla sit? You know what the answer is? Anywhere it wants. In other words, how do you control the 2-ton gorilla? How much does an elephant weigh? We can Google it later on, but can you control an elephant when it wants to go whatever way it goes? But how is it controlled? Right behind the ears, it's very sensitive. So because you ever feel an elephant, it's like a palm tree, isn't it? You feel the skin of an elephant? It's like you touch a palm tree. That's how an elephant feels. So, but behind the ears, it's delicate, and with the goad, you can control that little, you know, you see them with the what are they called? Mali? What is it? Huh? Yeah, Mukut. Yeah. Is it Mahut or Mukut? Mahut. Yeah, so that's how they control. So how to control the elephant-like mind that's raging this way and that and crushing the garden of devotional service. But meditation on Radharani's lotus feet help control. On Radha's foot, the goad shows that Radha and only Radharani can completely control the mad elephant hero named Krishna. So it controls the mind, also controls Krishna. Barley corn, it's a little grain. The barley corn signifies that devotees receive all enjoyable opulence by serving the lotus feet of Radha Govinda. Once one finds shelter at Radharani's lotus feet, then the devotee's journey through many births and death is cut very short, like the width of a grain of barley. So barley corn is a little seed, you know, and it's also considered one of the most richest. So we offer, you know, barley swaha into the fire jaga. So it has all nutrients, and so Radharani's lotus feet will nurture our devotional service. Also, how will we ever get out of the messes we're in this material world? And you know, but by the mercy of Radharani, that material world and our entanglement shrinks to the size of a barley corn. You can easily step over it. As barley sustains life for living beings, similarly, the glorious lotus feet of Srimati Radharani are full of nourishment for all souls. There's a beautiful little altar on her feet. Altar. This mark proclaims that the sins of those who meditate on Radha's lotus feet are burned up as if on the altar of sacrifice. So swaha and all the grains are burnt up. It's in the same way all of our sinful activities and desires and karma, it's all burnt up if we take shelter of Radharani. Furthermore, it indicates that just as the universe is nourished by Brahmins offering fire sacrifice, similarly, those who offer their minds in sacrifice to Radhika's lotus feet become fully enriched and nourished in devotion. Hey, we chant, what is a mantra? You know, we don't chant Radhe, 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 you know, Radhe, Radhe, you know, go to these bhajans, they're chanting all day long, Radhe, Radhe, and you're crying. We don't do that. We're what is the word? Enjoined not to do that. Prabhupada stopped devotees when they did it. On Radhastami you can chant, but other than that. But do we never chant to Srimati Radharani? What is a mantra we chant? Here you go, Balaram ki jai. Hare Krishna. Hare is Srimati Radharani, the spiritual energy. So we're praying. And what does it mean? Oh, please engage me in your service. Meditation is not static, it's ecstatic. It means, what is the result of chanting Hare Krishna? When it becomes inspired to get up and serve. So the service, taking shelter of Srimati Radharani's lotus feet, doesn't mean to sit in Radhakund and well, that's all for some personalities for some time. But the fruit of that meditation in Radhakund is you go out and glorify Srimati Radharani and serve Srimati Radharani. That we talked about yesterday, but just to reconfirm. Okay. Half moon. Half moon signifies that demigods like Lord Shiva had decorated their own heads with the soles of Radharani's lotus feet. You know, Lord Shiva has a half moon. So if you bow down on something, then the impression makes the foot on you, makes the mark on your head. So even Lord Shiva, he's bowing down at the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani. Also, it means that the real moon has shriveled up in shame and appears in half form before the splendorous moon of Radharani's lotus toenails. The moon, there's so much poetry about the beautiful silver shiny moon, the solace of the moon, even Narottam Das Nitai Padakamala. So the beautiful soothing effect of the moon is appreciated, right? So much poetry in people's experience. You walk out a beautiful moon, it's very satisfying, pleasing. But the moon, although proud of its own luster, when it sees the merciful flowing, the merciful rays of Radharani's lotus feet, the moon becomes, and the soothing effect of taking shelter of Radharani's feet, the moon is defeated. When you're defeated, one becomes a little, the head droops, so the moon becomes a half moon when it sees the mercy of Radharani. Upcurving line. This mark signifies that devotees who cling to the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani, as if holding on to a lifeline, will be transported to the spiritual world. Just like if they lower a rope into a well and you grab onto the rope, it pulls you out. So that line on Radharani's feet, you just hold tight the Srimati Radharani's lotus feet and you'll get pulled out of this material world. It indicates that the path of Radha Govinda is very direct, straight, and narrow. It also reveals that Radharani's lotus feet can reach down to the lowest fallen souls who take shelter of them and deliver them to the highest destination. This upcurving line also is seen as a bow. This mark reveals that those who take shelter of the lotus feet of Radharani will perpetually be freed from all varieties of difficulties. It also indicates that when the mind of the devotee meets the target of Radharani's lotus feet, then prema condenses as a result, and tears flow from the eyes. There's a disc or chakra. This disc indicates that meditation upon the lotus feet of Radharani, cuts down the 6 enemies of lust, anger, greed, illusion, pride, and envy. It indicates that Tejas Tattva, or the principle of brilliance, by which Radharani destroys the darkness of sin within the heart of the devotees. Furthermore, this chakra, this disc, marked on Radharani's lotus feet, shows that she is the ruler of her own kingdom, formed by the circle of Brajmandala. She's the queen, and only by her permission can we enter into it. Umbrella. The umbrella on the feet of Srimati Radharani proved that those who take shelter of her lotus feet are protected from the incessant rainfall of material desires. The mark on Radharani's feet also indicates that her lotus feet provide relief for her beloved from the scorching heat felt in her separation. Just like if it's blazing heat and you put up an umbrella, anyone who's I saw a bumper sticker said, if you're not paranoid, you're not paying attention. I mean, this world is a rough place. And if people don't realize, but anyone who's perceptive, thank you very much. We're not pessimistic, we're realistic. It's an honest, the first step for curing a disease is honest analysis of the problem. If you don't know what the problem is, how in the world are you going to cure it? So, this material world is a tough place. It's a blazing sun, burns everything to ashes. But you have the shelter of Radharani's lotus feet. It's like a nice umbrella. I mean, the mind... I'm over here in this crazy place, diamond. Before it was a diamond, under pressure it becomes coal. So, a diamond is coal that's been transformed by time and pressure. So... but it's not a diamond over there. It's still coal. It has not transformed to a valuable commodity. And, I mean, they suffer in so many ways. And they have no shelter. And, we may be suffering in this world. Things happen, But we can step inside the temple, see the beautiful deities, close our eyes, take shelter of the holy name. And they say that people need mini vacations. Not mini, M-A-N-Y, but mini, like a short break. You need a break. So we can just simply chant the holy name, take shelter of Hare Krishna, Srimati Radharani, and Govinda, and get that vacation. So that's the umbrella. Okay, we'll do a few more and then we'll finish. Chariot, maybe that's what we'll do. We'll finish her left foot. Chariot. This mark shows that the chariot of the mind can easily be controlled by fixing it on Srimati Radharani's lotus feet. Club. This club shows that Radharani's feet can chastise the elephant of sinful lust. It's a big, powerful club that can just knock it right out of the league. And what else will do it? Earring. This earring shows that Krishna's ears are always listening to the tinkling sound of Radharani's charming ankles, the melodious sound of her voice, the sweet rhythm of her love poems, and the intoxicating ragas of her veena. It also means that her hearing is always fixed on Krishna. Hearing his glories. So that's, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam. So the first thing is hearing. So that earring marks that she's always hearing the glories of Krishna. Mountain. This mountain reveals that even though Giri Govardhan is worshipped by all of Braja as the best of mountains and the best of servants, still Govardhan Hill in turn especially serves the lotus feet of Radhika. In fact, there's a whole description in the Garga Samhita that when Radharani, Krishna is coming down as Chaitanya, coming down to the material world, to manifest his pastimes 5,000 years ago, and he asked Radharani to go. She did not want to go. But because Krishna wanted her to go, she said, all right, I'll go if Govardhan Hill goes, and then I'll go. So that shows you how dear Govardhan Hill is to Srimati Radharani. I mean, these are esoteric things, but they're nice to hear sometimes. Bracelet. This mark, there's a bracelet, on her foot. This mark indicates that Radharani's feet are always present in Krishna's hand, just as a bracelet always accompanies the hand. Shakti. This mark represents a spear. Those who take shelter of Radharani, her feet slashed all the miserable bonds of mundane life. It means that Sri Radha is the source and reservoir of unlimited power. Flower. The flower shows that the divine fame of Radharani's feet spread everywhere, just like, there's a misspelling here, just like the fragrance of a flower. Flower may be located, in one place, but you can smell it. Nice rose, jasmine, the wind blows it, it's like that. So, the divine fame of Radharani spreads like the fragrance of a flower. It also shows that Radharani's feet are not hard, but soft as lotus petals. It also means that just as every fruit comes into being after the plant blooms, similarly all spiritual fruit come into being after first blossoming at the soles of Radhika's lotus feet. And creeper. Maybe we did all 18. Creeper means vine. Something it climbs up. This mark symbolizes how the desire creeper of the devotee continues to grow. You get the Bhakti Lata Bij from the spiritual master. You water it by seva and sadhana. It grows very nicely. And it grows through the coverings of the material world. But a vine, it wants to catch on to something. Whatever it is, it'll try to catch on to something. So if we catch on to the Radharani's lotus feet, it says here, this mark symbolizes how the desire creeper of the devotee continues to grow until it gradually takes shelter of Radharani's lotus feet. It shows that Radha's feet are found in the forest of Vrindavan, where many vines and creepers thrive. It also indicates that Radha's feet wander amidst the many kunjas and vine-laden kunj mandirs scattered throughout Braj. It also proves that Radhika is the supreme goddess of herbal medicine, and that her feet are the ideal medicine for curing the disease of materialism. I want to go to an Ayurvedic doctor. Radharani's feet are the best Ayurvedic doctor for the real disease. Doesn't mean we shouldn't go to doctors, don't misread. It means that Radharani is like a creeper wrapping around the tamal tree of Krishna. Intelligent devotees will hold on to Radharani's lotus feet just as a creeper firmly grips whatever it ascends. So we can end there. All glories to Srimati Radharani. Hare Krishna.